돈에 영향받는 우리의 뇌, 그 이유를 들여다볼까요? 뇌는 돈을 식욕, 성욕처럼 생존에 꼭 필요한 것으로 취급하죠. 뇌는 돈에 사로잡혀 있습니다. 그래서 돈이 결핍되면 돈만 쫓아서 행동하고 폭넓은 사고를 할 수 없게 됩니다. 만약 이 상황이 지속된다면 인간의 뇌는 더 위험해질 겁니다. 가난이 아이들의 뇌에도 영향을 미친다고 강력히 경고하는 학자가 있습니다. 이 교수는 유엔이 지정한 최빈국, 빈곤층 아이들의 뇌 발달을 2년 넘게 연구하는 중입니다.
And they're particularly interested in children growing up in very, very poor countries, like Bangladesh would be an example. On average, their families made the equivalent of $1 or $2 US dollars a day, and lived in a whole family of 5 or 6 or 7 might live in one room with one bed, a room that would be smaller than my office. Dirt roads, very bad air pollution. Children have high levels of illness, many, many illnesses. So we are doing a study, we've been there now for a number of years, where we're looking at different aspects of brain development.
Did you find something in that area?
What we're finding is intriguing but also very sad. So by the time children are 3, their IQs are already considerably lower than what we would expect. Imagine if 100 is the average IQ, these children are probably closer to 85 or so. But more importantly, we find that as early as 2 months of age, they already have less gray matter. A loss of gray matter basically means, if you use a computer analogy, is your CPU has been diminished, right? Your brain's processing power has been diminished. And if that's the case, then you would expect, as we find, it results in children with diminished intellectual ability.
Yeah.
And as a result of that could have an impact on the next generation because those children are reared differently and they in turn rear their children differently.
Yeah, yeah.
가난이 아이들의 뇌에 미친 영향은 부유한 나라라도 다르지 않습니다. 미국 보스톤의 빈곤층 어린이들을 대상으로 한 연구에서도 뇌 발달에 이상이 있음을 확인했습니다.
Usually families that don't have a lot of money, don't have a lot of education, and have very high levels of stress. And we see the babies at 2 months, and then at 6 months, and at 9 months, and 12 months, and 24 months. So we're following them over time. And one thing we find is that the more stress in the household, the lower the baby's brain activity. In just 2 months of exposure, early as 2 months is very concerning, right? Because that means to a high stress, poor environment, there's already an effect on brain. It doesn't matter in whatever country you're living in, children growing up in low resource settings often do not have access to resources like healthy nutrition, but also those same settings seem to have a great deal of stress. So it turns out this is universal. We need to come to grips as a society and decide, is it fair to have people growing up in abject poverty whose children don't thrive and develop like other children?
Sure.
I personally don't think it is fair, and I think we need to reduce those social disparities.
아이들의 뇌에 가난이 대물림되고 있습니다. 뇌과학자로서 부의 불평등을 그저 경제적인 문제라고만 생각할 수 없습니다. 돈이 아이들의 뇌조차 빈곤하게 한 이 현실에 분노하게 됩니다. 이 분노야말로 인간을 생존케 한 힘이며 오래전부터 우리 뇌에 저장된 깊은 본성일 겁니다. 인간의 오랜 본성을 찾기 위해 저는 한 사람을 만나보려 합니다. 유전적으로 인간과 가까운 종에서 우리와 공유하는 감정을 분석하고 실험하는 연구자입니다. You devised famous experiment involving the cucumber, grape, and monkey. So it's very impressive. Would you introduce what it is?
We developed a very simple task. What happened? Okay, the monkey gives us a rock and gets a piece of cucumber. And the first piece of cucumber is eaten. So the first piece of cucumber is good. Grapes are 10 times better than cucumber for them. The other one is going to give us a rock, which is the task, and gets a grape. The one on the left looks at that, then gives us a rock again and gets cucumber again. It's the second time. Now look at the reaction. And she's very upset about the whole thing. And the one on the right needs to give us a rock and gets a grape again. The one on the left needs to give us a rock and gets cucumber again. And also the second piece she rejects. And in the end, the one on the left will just sit in the corner and will stop working for us. They are very upset by getting less. The one who gets the grape is not upset. And so we were the first to demonstrate that these monkeys have what we call inequity aversion. They don't like inequity between them. I think the sense of fairness in humans is not new. It goes back to this kind of emotions. Many cooperative animals, like social animals, you find inequity aversion. So it is, I think it's related to a cooperative life, and in a cooperative society you need to share. And if the sharing doesn't occur equally, then you get protest against it.
What's the implication underlying this finding?
Well, the implication is that sometimes you hear from economists or political people, you hear sometimes that inequity is just part of the capitalist system. The inequity is just part of how the world works. But I think we have a very long tradition, older than our species actually, a tradition that goes back into the primates, other primates, of sharing resources and making sure that everyone gets something. And especially if you have a cooperative society, when people say inequity is part of the system, I say, no, that's probably not how we evolved. We evolved with sharing.